Hi, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to quickly talk about the enterprise architecture principles, which will have a significant influence on the architecture decisions that you make. When you get a project and start working on the architecture, you get a lot of inputs like the system scope, system responsibilities, constraints, etc. And enterprise architecture principles are one such things which you get as an input. So what these enterprise architecture principles are, how do you describe them, what are the different sections, what each of the sections mean to you. We will take an example and work on it. To illustrate the enterprise architecture principle, let's consider this example. So the example is buy rather than build. So that is the principle. So what this principle suggests is, if you have to make a decision on buying a product, a framework, or any component versus building it in-house, you better go for buying. That's what this says. Let's take a look at the statement of this principle, what it says. So the statement says, business applications and system components will be purchased rather than built in-house, unless competitive or technical reasons to do otherwise exist. So you have to go for buying the existing one rather than building in-house, unless there are these two reasons. One is competitive and other is technical. So competitive is something like the product which you are planning to buy may have limitations on the services that you provide to your customers. So your competitors may be providing better services, and which you think you can provide building a custom software in-house. So that's a competitive advantage. The other one is technical. So maybe the product which you are buying may have been built on some, say, older version of Java, and the newer version of Java has a lot of new features. Maybe it is lightweight or faster. There can be a number of reasons. Or the product which you are considering may not expose certain web services, so which you require to integrate with other products and provide better services to the customer. So if there is any such competitive or technical shortcoming in the product that you are planning to buy or is available in the market, you can suggest the custom built one instead of going for the product available as this principle says. Now let us look at the next section of enterprise architecture principle, that is rationale. Rationale is the reasoning as to why we choose this principle. So what kind of advantages we think this principle will bring in. Let's take a look at the rationale of our principle, buy rather than build. So what it says is, purchasing applications and components usually leads to improved time to market. So what that means is, since the products are ready in the market, all you need to do is just buy and integrate with your application, then you are ready to go. Otherwise, if you have to build in-house, you have to design and implement and test, bug fix, which takes longer time. So go with the product which allows you to market your application quicker. And apart from this, these products will have a better quality, at least initially, than with a new build. So the products have undergone all the defect fixing and all the kinds of maturity, so they are stable usually. Purchased applications are also likely to offer a greater range of functionality, because the products must have been evolved for a longer time over several versions, so each time adding new and new functionalities. If you buy the product, you will have a huge set of functionality at your disposal. So the other section of the enterprise architecture principle is implications. So implications are any additional factors, or we can say side effects, which you may have to consider in order to adopt the enterprise architecture principle. There are a couple of implications for our architecture principle example. One is ongoing support costs need to be factored in. So that means you consider not only the cost of the product, you also consider its support costs like annual maintenance charges, etc. The other one says business process may need to change to support out of the box functionality. So that means you have a business process, say for example, which has steps 1, 2, 3. You may have to deviate a little bit from these steps to accommodate the product that you are buying. For example, if you want to send a push notification as soon as the customer buys an item at your online shop, the product which you are buying may not support this one. So you may have to adjust for email. So like this is a small one, but there can be a big deviation from your regular business process, which you have to consider to accommodate the product that you are going to buy. We have seen the details of enterprise architecture principle with an example. So this is one example, and there is a vast variety of enterprise architecture principles. Few of them include this reuse. So reuse whatever is existing asset in the architecture, and the other is use products from a particular vendor because of various reasons, quality reasons or finance reasons, whatever it may be. And shared information, use shared information across applications. So these are the samples of enterprise architecture principles. Be aware that there is a vast variety of principles in the industry. Where and when we encounter these enterprise architecture principles? If you are working on a project, say given by Citibank, now you have to see if there are any such enterprise architecture principles that are applicable to your project. So while making any architectural decisions for your project, you see the enterprise architecture principle and make sure your architecture decision conforms to the principle.